All right, round two of our second hike at the Reforestation Camp. Just briefly, we're gonna do a short intro here. We're at the outside of the new zoo, which is down here. Actually went inside because I've been considering for a couple of years. They have a system of like bridges over the zoo. And you can hike that system of bridges. I'm highly interested, and I've been asked if I can record. They said it'll be $20.50 to do that. I think it might be something my wife be interested in, so I grabbed a pamphlet. We'll talk about that and see if she wants to do that. I want to record that. It includes you to go into the zoo, but I don't know if it's just up on top. I'm not sure about that. If they're allowed to go down below, I can record that as well. But doing the canopy trails looks really interesting for me. I did not change my battery because it's at 70%. If it dies, I am carrying my battery. I can change it. I should be good. It's definitely cooler over here. Wind on me. It's nice. I've been tempted to drive in to the campgrounds and see if you can park closer to where I hike, but I don't know if I would get that in trouble doing that. So I've been, it's just an extra 4 minutes hike, no big deal. So we're actually going to walk this side trail. I've done it many times. You can see a little bit of the zoo. We'll walk in there. Sometimes we get to see animals. Most times maybe a couple from the distance, but there have been a few times somewhere came closer to the edge of the fence. We'll see. To be honest, that last hike is really good, but it's much shorter than I expected. But I do enjoy that hike. A few hills and a mixture of pines and hardwood is nice. And smelling the pine trees was amazing. Yeah, not seeing any animals here. Not today. Again, usually I don't, but every once in a while I do. All right, we're going to shut this down. I'll be turning it on in a few minutes. I was like capturing this little stream here. Seeing some fluffs. Cottonwood here. Cottonwood is just about done. Last couple days at work, I'm seeing a few float around, but very, very few. I expect in a week or two at the most, it'll probably be completely done. All right, turning this off. I'll turn it on in a bit. So here is the campground. Just to show you, we're not going to walk through it. I walked through while it was being made. I'm sure you can search my channel for new campground or something like that and find it. And I've walked through a couple of videos on the edges of it. Not going to do that today. Just saw a family walk by on the way to the zoo, so they were probably at the campground. It's about I'm going to guess a 5 to 8 minute hike to the start of what I call the official trail where we're going to hike today. So I'm gonna shut this down. Once again, I'll turn it back on when we get there. All right, we're gonna head down this way to get to the trail. Probably about 2 minutes down that way. I'm gonna keep the camera on now. This is the main trail that goes you through the campground. You can see a little bit there. I am considering, after my hike, walking out through that way to show some of the campground. We'll see. We'll think about it. So a jogger just walked through here. I don't know if I got her on camera or not. I expect to see some hikers here, real close to the campground. And earlier we did see a biker go by. So one biker, one jogger. Oop. I'd say 2 minutes to get to the beginning of that trail. We'll record this little bit. About halfway done with my drink. I should be fine. It's definitely a lot cooler in the shade. When I hit the sun, it gets much warmer. The end of the last hike, I had to go through probably 5 minutes of sun. I got quite hot. Here it's cooler, but it has been more shade. But before I turned the camera on, I had to walk through about 40 seconds of sun, and I got hot there. And had a drink. I put like 1.5 inches. I drink Kool-Aid. I put 1.5 inches of Kool-Aid in the freezer last night, and then topped it off and put it in the freezer 45 minutes before we're leaving, so it's nice and cool. Not a pleasant smell. A lot of earth smell, wet ground here. I think it's about 4 minutes from here before we reach the swamp and the cedars. I'm hoping to do that canopy trail, I think they call it, adventure canopy trail, something like that, this summer. That'll be nice to get on camera. A little wet here and muddy. A bit rainy this week. Two or 3 days of lots of rain. Probably less than a minute to the main trail that we're going to do today. Second trail. Maybe spoke a little soon. Probably another 40 seconds or so. Alright, here's our trail. To the left. Looks a little muddy here. This is it. Since we're going through a swamp, I suspect we're going to see a little bit more mud today on this trail. Some clouds, but not dark. I'd say it's probably 45% sun, 65% clouds, but they're mostly white fluffy. I'm not concerned. I did do a hike here a couple of years ago. In the middle of the hike, it came down hard. Heading downhill now. Again, a little muddy here. Not an issue. May have to clean my boots when I get home, that's all. I'd say 2 minutes, maybe less, till we get to the Cedar Swamp. Big tree here. I've talked about there was I seen a mule early on at what's the name of that? It's a second park in Brown County, Neshota. But I actually seen a mule here only once, and don't see as many horses here, but there are horse trails, and saw one mule here as well. Actually not far past the campground that direction. So far, one deer. I don't often see deer here, but once in a while I do. It's not usual though. Definitely very wet. They got a culvert here because of the rain. It gets often flooded here, especially in spring. I'd say about a minute here around the corner we get to the Cedar Swamp. culvert. If you're enjoying these hikes today, please hit like. Nice and quiet. Love it. Oh. Something dug in there. Looks a little big. I don't know if it's big enough for a badger. I sprayed up when we parked here a second time around. The bugs aren't bad, but this is probably the buggiest hike I've done this year. I expected that when I get to the reforestation camp. Now Neshota can get really, really bad. The horse flies there are really bad. We'll get there eventually. I do like Neshota. Not to the cedars yet. Probably still another 40 seconds, so probably spoke a little too soon. Here is the cedar swamp. About to step into it here. Once I saw a hawk or an eagle in here, I can't remember. Yeah, quite full. There's a culvert here under the ground. It was in there I saw the hawk or eagle. Gonna do a loop here, and we'll actually leave the swamp, go down a little bit, and come back in the swamp near the end over here. Not thick with cedars yet. Not deep in. We'll probably see more after we leave and come back into the swamp further down. But there are many here. So we're going to turn right into a little higher ground, and we're going to do a loop and come back this way. A little muddy here. That's all right. I'll make it. Let's go over here. Wow, it's a little muddy. It's a horse apiece here. These are actually horse trails here. Again, I rarely see horses. Once in a while. There's some nice ferns here. I've done a teaching video on the edge of these ferns once. But we're not here for ministry videos, just hikes. Plenty of pines here as well. Edge of the swamp here, and pines over here. Big pine there. Now this trail we're coming up to is the edge of the reforestation camp, one of the edges. And there is a wider part here, and they call it the Marindal Conservatory, something like that. There are no trails in there. You're welcome to hike in there. And I did a full video, an exploratory hike. If you want to see that video, I'll put it in the corner of the screen here. We're not going to go in it today, but we're going to walk by it. So there is a fence most of the trail, but the fence ends somewhere along this way, and then it goes deeper in because there's like a little plot of land here, maybe 2 acres, that's my guess. And it's part of the reforestation camp. It was donated, and that is where they call it the Marindal Conservatory. We'll end up seeing a sign and perhaps a plaque. This is more than likely it. I've shot some really nice videos in there. Yeah, no hunting in there. It's a conservatory. This is what they call part of the Marindal Conservatory Trail. We're going to see more signs. Originally, when I saw it online, I thought that was the Marindal. I got the name wrong. We'll get to it soon. I thought it was there. But more explanation came when I discovered this and looked into it. And there's like more signs here. The trail goes around here, has nothing to do with the actual conservatory, which is there. Yep, Marindal Conservancy Trail. It does a small loop. We're going to go back into it here. The Marindal Conservancy area, dedicated October 20th, 2005. This land was donated by the loving memory of Mark A. Kaminsky. I read it all earlier, but again, I have a video I pointed to earlier. It'll be down in the description. And I hiked in there, a brief, short hike, probably 8 to 10 minutes, exploring that area because I wanted to see what was in there. There's no trails, so you're welcome to hike off trail. You're welcome to do that here in the Brown County Forest. See one more sign, Marindal Conservancy Trail. We're going to be turning left back into the trail and do this loop. Somewhere in here the fence starts up again, and this is the edge of the Brown County Forest. Somewhere in here within 70 yards or so the fence shows up. Right back into this trail, and this is a continuation of the Marindal Conservancy Trail. We'll do the full trail. It's part of our hike today. I could label the hike as the Marindal Conservancy Trail, but we're doing more than that. But we're doing all of that. I just grabbed another drink. Probably say I'm 75% done with the drink. And it's starting to lose its coolness. It's not warm yet, but I'm sure it'll be warm once I get to the car. So it's still refreshing. We'll get into the cedar swamp here probably another minute or so. And this part of the cedar swamp is really nice. I like it. Gnats. A little sunny here. It's getting some shade. Big crossing here of bikes. I was expecting more bikes and hikers. We've only seen one of each so far in this area. I do like my cedar swamps. We're not there yet, but once you see, you understand, hopefully, why I like it, because I think those cedars are just magnificent. So here's a meeting of several trails, horse trails, bike trails. See, here's a bike trail. A lot of trails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, we came in 6. Sun's behind the clouds. Definitely getting more cloudy. I don't see rain in those clouds though. We're okay. So here are the cedars. Yeah, cooler here in the swamp. Definitely gnats today. Yeah, quite wet in the swamp. You can hear a plane, but you don't hear no traffic here. More pine trees on the left and cedars on the right. Cedar pine smell, mixture of both. It's nice. It's nice. Something flew over. Don't know what it was. His shadow was on the ground. It looked big. The shadow was big. Maybe a hawk or something like that. Again. I really like cedar swamps. Hope you're enjoying this. If you do like it, please hit like. We're definitely 50% done with this hike. And at the end, I'll discuss how you can find my hiking videos, you're welcome to subscribe, that's fine. But if you only want to do hiking videos, digging through my channel is not the best way to do it. I have hiking playlists. I'll explain that at the end of the video. This is where we turned off the trail. Oh, no, it isn't, because it's much more muddy there. This is a different Marindale Conservancy trail. I think there's 2 or 3 of them here. So if I said we did the whole thing, we did not, because if we'd done this, then we would have done the whole thing. Love the cedars. Nice and cool here in the shade. I do want to hit the Maribel Cave trails this summer. I always like going there. Summer is wonderful. Hope to get there in July. Sounds like a horsefly buzzing me. Don't hear him. Probably the scent chased him away because I sprayed my head. So this is my second favorite hike so far at the Brown County Reforestation Camp. Now this is the trail we took because it was muddy here. Oh, so this trail, no horses. I was wrong with that. No horses there. The horses can go this way or that way. Let's grab a drink. All right, we're at 34% battery. That should be good enough to get this video done. All right, leaving the swamp. Hope you enjoyed that. I do. Since I'm more than likely going to record on the edge of the campground, we're going to do my end of video spiel here. So once again, you're welcome to subscribe and follow my channel that way. But if you're only interested in hiking videos, I have good news for you. Well, because I do have lots of hiking videos, although I'm pausing that, it is still the focus of my channel. So to get into my hiking videos, there will be playlists. At the beginning of the video, you saw the intro with the music. At the outro with music, at the very end, you will see boxes in the corners of the screen. Those are YouTube playlists. Click on that box, open that page, bookmark that page. That playlist is my hiking in Northeast Wisconsin playlist. That is where all my hiking videos are placed. No ministry videos. I'll also have one on this side of the screen. That's my best of hiking videos. This one will make both lists. You could do one or the other, your choice. That's 2 ways to find my hiking videos. Now there will be a subscribe button in the bottom right corner of the screen. On the bottom left, there will be another playlist that will be my tripod videos. I set up my tripod and capture different scenes. It could be winter scenes, it could be waterfall scenes, different nature scenes. If you want to see those, no hiking, no ministry, just tripod captured. Those will be my tripod nature scenes. Click on that page, open up that page, bookmark that page if you're interested in those kind of videos, just nature scenes. All right, we're gonna shut this down and I'll turn it back on when we get to the campground. I'm at like 28%, so I want to save some battery to get that. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks. All right, battery's at 27%, so if it shuts down, that's it. I'm not going to change battery for this. We're coming up to the campground. I'll show a little bit of it as we walk along the edge, but that's it. Now up ahead on the left, there is some kind of structure. It might be concerning the water pumps, the sanitation, something like that. There is a camera there, and it's going, I think, 24 hours a day. And I'll link to it in the corner. If you want to click on that button, you can see a live video of the reforestation camp anytime, all year long, most of the time, unless if it's down for maintenance or something like that. Now, a few years ago, I did a short video here and showed the camera, which I'm about to do now, and I actually went to their website, captured the video of me walking to the camera, and I'll link to it in the top corner of the screen. It's a short video, maybe 8 minutes long. You can see that video of me walking to the camera. Their camera is along with side of my video of this hike. It was interesting. It was a little fun. I'll show that in the corner of the screen. You can click on it. It'll also be in the description. So this is the building I was talking about. Again, some kind of building that deals with the wastewater or something. Who knows? And above the garage door is a camera there, I think, somewhere over there. And once again, you can click on that video above. So this is the campground. They have a map of the hiking trails there. Wood for the campfires. The car's coming, so I'll move over. Smell of the fires here. I don't know how long this video will last. We're going to walk through his, I'm guessing about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll turn this off. Little playground. Again, I walked through here as they were building it. I'll link to it in the corner if you want to see that video, otherwise it'll be in the description. Restrooms here. Water for campground, campers. Dump station, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm at 23%. Well, that's a brief look at some of the campground. And that's about it, folks. I'm going to shut this down because the battery's going to die. Hope you enjoyed this hike today. Once again, if you haven't, please hit like. Thank you, folks. See you next time. Again, I'm not sure if next weekend is the 4th or not. That might be 2 weeks away. If not, there'll probably be a hiking video next weekend. I don't know if that's a bike I'm hearing beeping or some kind of chirping. I just want to see where this is where we entered for the hike down here. All right, that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this hike. We'll see you again possibly next week or 2 or 3 weeks. Definitely have the 4th of July off. I will not be recording that weekend. Again, I don't remember what the date is, so it might be in 2 weeks. I think it is, but not sure. Have a good day, folks. Bye-bye.